If Clyde has 1,000,000 fans, then I am one of them. If Clyde has 10 fans, then I am one of them. If Clyde has only one fan, then that is me. If Clyde has no fans, then I don't exist. And if the world is against Clyde, I am against the world. Undertale is a game, and people like it. I'm here to talk about one specific Undertale enemy. Though they're not that obscure, I'm willing to bet many of you either don't know him or simply don't care. There's no real reason I'm doing this, I just wanna jab. Most enemy encounters in Undertale are talked about or known to a certain degree. After all, almost all monsters you fight throughout the game are not only memorable of course, but mandatory, and show up in the pacifist routes and credits, along with some blurs describing what they're up to. Like, if I showed you one of the enemies, you'd probably be like, yeah, that's magic, that's Woshua inspired by the Omo Cat. There's only a few enemies that don't show up in the end credits, which are less known about. Like Childrake, who I forget exists sometimes, even if they do appear in most routes of the game technically speaking, both as an encounter if you killed Snowdrake and as an NPC. Enemies exclusive to hard mode are pretty niche. Shame honestly. These are some of my favorite enemy designs in the game. I am Megospel's #1 fan just for the stupid fucking face he makes here. Due to them being locked behind hard mode though, a feature many people don't know or really think about, I don't think it's fair to include them here. So let's continue down the list. There are 3 hidden encounters in Undertale's regular mode. From order of most to least popular we have Mad Mew Mew at the top. Although Switch exclusive, not only has he gotten many appearances since her debut, she's an already existing character, being brought back as a cute trans girl. Trust me, I know cute trans girls. Mad Mew Mew is beloved by the fandom, and for a good reason, she rocks. So Sorry is not beloved by the fandom. It's a fine enough encounter, he has his own battle theme. There's really nothing wrong with the character of So Sorry. Is there a lot of controversy surrounding his creator? Yes. Am I gonna talk about it here?
No.
You can watch this video or whatever. And at last, at the bottom, there's the creature. My king, or thing. So let's actually talk about it. About Clyde. There's this room in Snowdin. It's past the cliff where you can spot the faraway cabin. In it, there's a long corridor which seemingly contains nothing at the end, save for a locked mysterious door and some mushrooms. Can you do anything with the mushrooms? No. Can you open the door? Yes. There's some cheeky stuff in there, however never mind that, we have more important business to attend to. If you wander about in this room for at least 2 minutes and meet some other requirements which are currently on the screen, you're greeted with a new enemy encounter. Now, Clyde is a cool monster. We know this because it said so. And the game says so too. So it must mean it's true. Clyde has a whopping 2 attack patterns. They are admittedly pretty cool, probably some of the better attack patterns in the game. I especially love when he shoots award projectiles. These are all the possible words you can say. Cool, vibing, rad, nicely, spicy, sweet, sick. 7 cool ass words. If you check the creature, it refuses to give more details about its statistics. I respect this, privacy is important. Anyway, let me continue this video where I talk about all the info on it. Clyde loves praise, and the way to defeat it is to first give it all the admiration at once, and then sit in silence and ignore it. It'll become desperate for attention until it gets bored and leaves. So technically there's no way to show your mercy to it. It's either you make it leave or you kill it. Booing Clyde actually lowers its defense by 10, but also raises its attack by 2, because haters only make Clyde stronger. Other notable stuff, Clyde was designed by one of Undertale's Kickstarter backers, Mike Raid, back in 2013. For those unaware, there were different tiers one could pledge to that allowed one to submit a character design to be put in the game. Clyde is one of 3 encounters and 9 total monsters which were added to the game this way to my knowledge. So yeah, this monster has the same origin as Muffet did. For in-game shenanigans, there is unused flavor text for meeting Glide's per condition. But in the end, happiness cannot be achieved, because Glide is a needy bitch. There is also a 1% chance for Glide to talk like it's about to do an attack, and then do nothing.
What?
Anyways, before continuing, I wanted to share lines and flavor text from the Glide fight. Please enjoy.
Glide is thinking of new slang for the word cool, like freakadacious.
Fresh sweet haters.
Glide is giving itself a high five, somehow.
Sorry for nothing. Look, watch, observe.
Glide sees its reflection and gets jealous.
Wow, check out my pecs.
You clap really sloppily. Glide sucks up your praise like a vacuum cleaner.
Okay, I rule, I admit it. You forgot to clap.
Glide is doing tons of flips to get your attention.
Hello, I'm right here.
Glide is dying, but in a cool way.
I used to hate Glide, not like passionately or anything, but about a month ago when I rediscovered this thing's existence, my first instinct was to think, this is kinda the most pointless enemy in Undertale. What does it even do? Is there even a single person out there who cares about Glide? Surely not, because I never see anyone talk about it. Which is kinda odd, considering how much Undertale fans like secrets. You'd think people would have more to say. At the same time though, I get it. I understand why people don't find it all that interesting. For one, despite being a hidden encounter, there's not much special about it compared to the other hidden bosses. It's also not hinted at anywhere in the game, which I admit is part of its charm, and probably a mother reference. But I don't know, maybe if Toby gave it something more, like its own unique theme song or a longer battle, maybe an item. Like if you did it peaceful style, it would give you the Glide Maker, but if you did it with force, it gives you the Glide Scarf. That was a joke. But you get what I'm saying. Glide doesn't really stand out, it's underwhelming. And you know what, that's okay. Because I still like you, Glide. I like you a lot. Plus, not only is Glide in Undertale's release trailer, it shows up in merch. You can find this thing's beautiful face plastered on multiple places. It's right there on the cover for the Undertale complete vinyl box set in beautiful colored glory with rainbow wings. I didn't know it had rainbow wings, but that's very cool. They also proudly sport them in the sticker set, so it could be its true appearance. Not confirmed or anything, but a fun thought. Third and finally, they appear on one of the tarot cards, alongside all hard mode enemies under stronger monsters. Kinda makes you wish stronger monsters played when you fought Glide, VH. To be honest. Now, what impact has Glide had on the internet? Well, there is fan art out there. Not much, this is pretty much all I could find. Most of it is pretty old. In the mod Undertale Bits and Pieces, Glide is changed to appear as you leave the cave. Its fight has a cool ass background, as well as a theme song. I made a Reddit post as my interest for Glide grew, asking what people thought of it. I swear I'm not a Redditor anymore. I only use Reddit sometimes.
No, wait! I'm not spam!
I got mixed responses. The top comment was telling. Some people have only been made aware of Glide, not for his charm, but because it lands the most EXP out of any common enemy in Snowdin, which makes it a requirement for max EXP runs. You know what that means? Glide Genocide, 15 Glide souls. According to this comment, it isn't even supposed to be possible. There is meant to be only one Glide, yet due to a programming error you can fight it as many times as you want. Again, according to a guy on Reddit. Other comments range from like, I don't know what to say about it, literally what is that, and no, fuck Glide. I will kill this fat fuck every run, even on a pacifist run. How? I make it work. Look at him. He thinks he's so fucking cool when he's not. Some were positive though. So there are a few Glide enjoyers out there. Not a lot, but ultimately, I think that's okay. It gets as much appreciation as it needs. However, consider this. Moffat and So Sorry were actually referenced in Chapter 4 of Deltarune, believe it or not. 2 out of 3 Kickstarter characters. You know who's coming next, right? That's right, I'm placing all my bets on Glide. Glide will show up in Deltarune, and it'll be the knight. Not Des, not Carol, not Papyrus. Glide is the knight. Why else do you think it hasn't shown up yet? Have you ever seen them in the same room? Not too important, not too unimportant, huh? Sounds like a certain someone I know. How much longer now? My Glide. Okay, that's a video. If you wanna like support me and stuff, I have social today, post art and do commissions. I also have a Ko-fi if you wanna donate, but you don't have to or anything. Okay, that's enough begging. If you excuse me, I have some Glide fan art to draw now.